we go. And now I look a little washed out today. It's probably because I got both doors open. My cans on here, so I can hear myself. I just got off the phone. Long phone call with a researcher at a university. They're doing research in association with the Michael J. Fox Foundation to do research on Parkinson's, and so I volunteered to be the help with that. Unfortunately, I'm not. I only fit one of the criteria that they're going for right now, but they did give me a little genetic counseling, which basically just talked to me about the 23andMe report I shared with them, and they wanted to get a little research on my family. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of information about my family off the top of my head. My brother would be a better source for that, and ask it. So that was basically what I've done today. And my dog isn't feeling well. It's I don't know if he's constipated or what. He's just he's old. This happens. By the way, I just got this back in the mail today. This is Peter David's new autobiography. Mr. Sulu Grabbed My Ass and Other Highlights from a Life in Comics, Novels, Television, Films, and Video Games. Because he offered, if you since he can't get out because of COVID and stuff like that, if you sent him the book, he would autograph it. So he did. And with it, I sent him a nice note saying how much I've enjoyed his work and all that. So yeah, that's something nice. Kind of makes my day. Apart from that, I guess we should get on with the show because I want to get editing and then get on with the rest of today. So let's get to recording here. Switch, set in the right position. Drink, set in the right mouth. One, two. This is how we do. Tonight, the Voyager documentary makes bank. The Bad Batch is coming soon, and where to put a tribute to RoboCop. All that and more on the sci-fi edition of Multiverse Tonight. Comic books, sci-fi, fantasy, and more. If you're looking, hold on, folks. Sorry, I want to go before I get too far into this. I want to check the output. Because I swear I hear in my cans some fuzz. Yeah. So I want to make sure that's not going on to the recording. So talk amongst yourself for a minute. While this loads up. Tonight, the Voyager documentary makes bank. The Bad Batch is coming soon. No, it sounds good. Sorry, if you were here with me for the last episode, the whole episode was how. So yeah, So I'm noticeably perturbed by that. So let's go again. Tonight, the Voyager documentary makes bank, The Bad Batch is coming soon, and where to put a statue of RoboCop. All that and more on the sci-fi edition of Multiverse Tonight. Comic books, sci-fi, fantasy, and more. If you're looking for a roundup of geeky news, you're in the right place. This is Multiverse Tonight. And here's your host, Thomas Townley. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 116 of Multiverse Tonight, the sci-fi edition. I'm, of course, your host, Thomas Townley, and it's a nice spring day outside today. I'm recording this on International Women's Day, March the 8th. It's also Canberra Day in Australia for you the Australians out there. I guess I don't have any real news except I got my second COVID vaccine. The vaccine shot this past week, and boy, did it hit me for a loop. Let me tell you. Let me describe this. Okay, I got up in the morning, went down to the activity center where they're giving mass giving shots. You know, get my shot. They did a great job. I mean, this nurse was excellent. She poked it in there. You know, not even a bruise on my arm. My arm hurt, but, you know, that's about it. And so, you know, after 15 minutes, I still felt fine. Went to work. Worked my whole shift. Got home. The minute I got home, bam, it hit me. Chills. I mean, chills so bad I was just shaking. My head pounded. My body ached. I mean, I just felt like crap. And you know, it'd been so long. You know, it'd been like 15 hours since the shot. I was thinking, you know, maybe it's the flu. You know, maybe I picked up the flu today. So, you know, we went to bed early, and I just pretty much had a restless sleep, you know, because my body just ached. Finally, you know, at like 6 in the morning, 5, 6 in the morning, I just sat up and got in my chair and just stayed there. You know, at that point, I had a brief fever. I'd gone from chills to a brief fever, and I just sat up for a few hours just in silence. You know, and finally, you know, I got some Tylenol in me, and it calmed down, and so I spent the rest of the day just recuperating. You know, when I finally now here's the kicker, folks. When I finally got back to work the next day, because they called me because I had basic, you know, they have a COVID check-in thing on app for work, so I marked myself as unable to go. So they called me to check on me. I said, no, I feel fine. I could go back to work. The HR person said, well, you could have taken 3 days to recover, and for, you know, paid leave. You know, it's like, really? You're telling me this now? You could have informed me of this before. You know, I could have taken a 3-day paid vacation. Oh well. You know, that's fine. You know, I want to work anyway. You know, I would get bored after 3 days straight, because that would be actually 3 days plus my 2 days off. So yeah, I would have gotten bored, but I was happy to go back to work. But yeah, that's my experience with the vaccine. Also, I'll highlight this. Peter David has a new autobiography out called Mr. Sulu Grabbed My Ass, and other highlights from a life of comics, novels, television, films, and video games. And he put on Twitter that if you sent him the book, he would autograph it because, of course, he can't go out because of COVID. And so, sure enough, the man, I sent him my copy of the book, and he autographed it and sent it back. So that was, a nice thing I got back today. I like him. I have a friend who looks kind of like him. That's the that's the fun part of that. But anyway, I've jabbered on long enough. Let's start with some Star Trek news. And we start Star Trek news today with it's been 6 years since Leonard Nimoy's passing from COPD, and to honor Leonard, his family have announced they will be sharing never-before-seen photos as digital trading cards. The cards, from Wax Blockchain, will feature intimate photos of Leonard's family life and career. The first series of cards will feature 255 unique cards in 6 different rarities. Now, his daughter Julie said about the release, quote, "Dad was passionate about photography and he loved technology. My husband Dave and I are thrilled to be partnering with Wax Blockchain. It's absolutely the logical place to share some intimate photos chronicling my father's life and legacy. One of my most treasured photos was taken at his vacation beach home in Malibu, California, shortly before he passed away on February 27th, 2015. This was the last photo of us taken together. As Wax Blockchain is forever, our hope is that for future generations will remember and appreciate him not only as Mr. Spock from Star Trek, but also as a loving family man and a wonderful friend who had many passions and interests," unquote. There will be 2 pack sizes for sale, a 10-pack for $9.99 and a 30-pack of cards for $24.99. They go on sale on March 25th at noon Eastern Standard Time. The Star Trek Voyager documentary has launched a crowdfunding campaign, and they were fully funded in about 6 hours after launch. 455 Studios launched the campaign, which was originally going to get going last year for Voyager's 25th anniversary. But of course, pandemic. As with any crowdfunding campaign, there are unique rewards to backers. They include the Worlds of Delta Quadrant postcards 8-pack, a fan set's official lapel pins, Voyager documentary t-shirts, Zoom virtual experiences, away missions to filming locations and opportunities to meet cast members, and a Voyager doc swag bag. And as of right now, let me take a quick look here. The documentary is at 430% of its $150,000 goal. That's $645,200 with 24 days left. So, if they keep going this way, it's going to be $1 million documentary. I'll have a link in the show notes for you to find them, or just go to Indiegogo and type in Star Trek documentary. Star Trek Lower Decks will be coming to Blu-ray this May. The first season will have a standard and steelbook release. The show will be the first season, of course, as well as features like Lower Dictionary, which looks at the music, art design, animation, and much more. There will also be interviews with the cast, deleted and extended scenes, and a look at the series' Easter eggs. Season 2 is currently in production. Star Trek Prodigy will now premiere on Paramount Plus, instead of being an exclusive just for Nickelodeon. The 10-episode animated series from Kevin and Dan Hageman will premiere later this year and will then air on Nickelodeon. Now, this is part of Paramount Plus' strategy of having every Star Trek ever as a centerpiece for the streaming service. Paramount Plus programming chief Julie McNamara told Variety, quote, "It does speak to having a franchise that is unique to Paramount Plus, and we're very excited about this. There is a kind of franchise strategy, which is the notion that you execute new versions of this really strong IP that you have well. You're going to drive people across the paywall," unquote. Now, Paramount Plus will lower the current price for all CBS All Access subscribers launching in March with the price of $4.99 for the ad-supported version. Now it's $1 less than it is currently, and $9.99 for the premium commercial-free tier. Now it should be noted that the $4.99 plan won't come with access to local CBS stations. However, if that's something you want to keep, they have assured subscribers that current subscribers will be grandfathered in, so you get to keep your local CBS station programming. Yeah, and frankly, I like being able to watch the CBS Evening News while I'm at work. That's just one of the perks. Kalinda Vasquez has been tapped by Paramount Pictures to write a new Star Trek movie. Now, Vasquez has written on Star Trek Discovery and was a co-executive producer on Fear the Walking Dead. The movie will be produced by J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot. Now, no timeline for the movie has been given. And yeah, I know there's some fear and trepidation that it's still J.J. Abrams is attached to this, but you know, I'll give it a go. Yeah. Anyway, let's head on to some Star Wars news.
Roger, roger.
Now we start Star Wars news today with Game of Thrones star Indira Varma, who is joining the cast of Disney Plus's Obi-Wan Kenobi series. The details of Varma's character are, well, unknown, much like the plot details, but we do know that Hayden Christensen will be back as Darth Vader, and Ewan McGregor will, of course, be Obi-Wan Kenobi. In other news, Disney is getting closer to opening the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel. The Walt Disney Company has put up a listing for a hotel services director, Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. Here's the job description. Quote, Disney is searching for a seasoned hotelier with senior leadership hospitality experience on land or at sea to serve as hotel services director for our new Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. As a hotel services director, you will lead and implement a unique, immersive two-night experience aligned with our Star Wars franchise. A passion for bringing ideas to life, creativity, value, a non-traditional work environment, and balanced traditional hotel experience with immersive environment with are all important traits you will need to have to be successful in the role, unquote. Now, the Galactic Star Cruiser is a special 2-day and night experience that will allow guests to have an even more immersive experience when visiting Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. People on board will look out their windows and not see the park, but the ship traveling at hyperspace, and take part in a multi-day story with the crew, other passengers, and familiar Star Wars characters. It's supposed to open later this year. The follow-up to Star Wars The Clone Wars, Star Wars The Bad Batch, has a release date on Disney+. The premiere will be on Star Wars Day this May 4th, a year after the Clone Wars ended. The series takes place in the intervening years between the prequels and the original trilogy and has Ming-Na Wen voicing Fennec Shand. The Bad Batch are an elite group of experimental clones, each possessing a unique special skill. After the Clone Wars, this now band of mercenaries must find their own purpose in the galaxy. The Visual Effects Society has announced their award nominations, and The Mandalorian has received a whopping 13 of them. Also up for awards are Star Trek Discovery, Disney's animated movies Soul and Onward, Lovecraft Country, The Witches, Cyberpunk 2077, Brave New World, Bloodshot, The Last of Us Part 2, and many more. I'll include a list of nominees in the show notes. And with that, let's go on to the geek news. The Saturn Award nominations are also out. Warner Brothers is the studio with on top this time with 34 nominations, followed by Disney and Netflix. Tenet received 9 nominations, and Dr. Sleep got 6 on the movie side. Better Call Saul, Outlander, and The Walking Dead topped the TV side with 5 nominations each. Now, there's no official date for the award ceremony other than later this year. Now, I'll go over a few of the categories, but the entire list will be in our show notes. Here are some of this year's nominees. For Best Comic to Motion Picture Release, you have Birds of Prey, Bloodshot, Joker, The New Mutants, The Old Guard, Best Science Fiction Release: Ad Astra, Gemini Man, Lucy in the Sky, Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, Tenet, Terminator Dark Fate. Now, you have movies, you have actors. For Best Actor in a Film, Daniel Craig for Knives Out, Delroy Lindo for The Five Bloods, Ewan McGregor for Doctor Sleep, Gary Oldman for Mank, Aaron Paul for El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, Joaquin Phoenix for Joker, John David Washington for Tenet, Best Actress in a Film, Rebecca Ferguson for Doctor Sleep. She was actually pretty good in that role. Yuffie Liu for Mulan, Elizabeth Moss for The Invisible Man, Natalie Portman for Lucy in the Sky, Daisy Ridley for Episode 9, Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, Margot Robbie for Birds of Prey, Charlize Theron for The Old Guard, and there's plenty of other award nominations. Best Film Director, okay, yeah, you're going to laugh at this one probably. J.J. Abrams for Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, Nikki Caro, Mulan, Mike Flanagan for Doctor Sleep, Christopher Nolan for Tenet, Gina Prince Bythewood for The Old Guard, Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Leigh Whannell for The Invisible Man. And let's get to some TV awards here. Up for Best Superhero Adaptation Television Series, you have Batwoman, The Boys, The Flash, Stargirl, Supergirl, The Umbrella Academy, and Watchmen. Best Science Fiction Television Series, you have Doctor Who, Lost in Space, Pandora, Raised by Wolves, Star Trek Discovery, and Star Trek Picard, and Westworld. And on the acting nominations for that category, for televisions, Best Actor in Television Series, Henry Cavill for The Witcher, Mike Coulter for Evil, Grant Gustin for The Flash, Sam Heughan for Outlander, Jonathan Mars for Lovecraft Country, Bob Odenkirk for Better Call Saul, and Patrick Stewart for Star Trek Picard. And Best Actress in Television Series, Catarona Belfay for Outlander, Melissa Benoist for Supergirl, Regina King for Watchmen, Sonequa Martin Green for Star Trek Discovery, Tandy Newton for Westworld, Candice Patton for The Flash, Rhea Seehorn for Better Call Saul. And again, there's a huge list of nominees. Congratulations to all nominees, and we'll see the awards later this year. Steven Spielberg and the Duffer Brothers are teaming up to tackle the work of another Stephen King, that is. They'll be working to bring King's book, The Talisman, which he co-wrote with Peter Straub, to Netflix. Spielberg apparently fell in love with the book back in 1982 so much that he bought the screen rights in perpetuity. Now he's ready to bring it to life with Stranger Things, The Duffer Brothers. Talisman tells the story of a 12-year-old boy named Jack Sawyer who set off on an epic road trip quest in order to save his dying mother's life. He is in search of the Talisman, a powerful relic that can not only heal his mother, but, as he learns, save the world. Sawyer's journey crisscrosses two realities, the America we know and its dangerous fantasy world twin, the Territories. No word on when it's expected at Netflix. Detroit's giant statue of RoboCop has been finished after a decade. The Metro Times has a piece on the piece of art meant to rival Philadelphia's Rocky statue. It was pretty much born of a tweet and was one of the first big crowd-funded projects when crowdfunding was just getting off the ground on the internet. However, the statue has a new problem: where to put it. The original location had to be thrown out, and the next proposed location, the Michigan Science Center, has been a victim of the pandemic. In a statement, they said, quote, "We are thankful to the Imagination Station team and their partners for including the Michigan Science Center in the RoboCop statue journey. Working with Imagination Station in 2018, MISI, a private nonprofit museum that receives no city, state, or federal operating funding, had planned to install the 11-foot-tall bronze sculpture adjacent to the center in conjunction with improvements to our grounds. But given the pandemic's unprecedented pressures, MISI resources now must be focused entirely on our core mission of serving Michigan's students and families. The creation of the bronze work, which combines centuries-old metalworking techniques with 21st century technology, remains an amazing STEM story. As Michigan's STEM hub, MISI hopes to be able to support Imagination Station in the search for a new, appropriate home for this iconic work, unquote. So where will the statue end up is unknown for now. Maybe they should get to work on the real thing. Junkie XL will be returning to score the prequel to Mad Max Fury Road, Mad Max Furiosa. Junkie XL broke the news on the Film Junkie stream on YouTube, saying, quote, "It's coming. George and I work together, so I'm actually currently working with him on a different movie before that movie is being made," unquote. Now, the other movie he mentioned is 3,000 Years of Longing with Tilda Swinton and Idris Elba. Furiosa will star Anna Taylor-Joy as a younger version of Charlize Theron's Furiosa and is set for theaters on June 23rd, 2023. Stephen Moffat's adaptation of The Time Traveler's Wife for HBO has cast Game of Thrones Rose Leslie and Divergent's Theo James as the leads of Claire and Henry. The show is based on Audrey Neffenger's 2003 novel of the same name and tells the story of Henry de Temple, a dashing, adventuresome librarian who has a genetic disorder that makes him travel involuntarily through time, and Claire Abshire, an artist who falls in love with him and has to deal with his condition. Henry and Claire's passionate love affair endures across a sea of time and captures the two lovers in an impossible romantic trap. It's a trap. More than 17,000 members of the Writers Guild of America East and West have signed a petition in support of unionization efforts at an Amazon warehouse in Bessemer, Alabama. Those signing include Tina Fey, Seth Meyers, Adam McKay, Sarah Silverman, Alfonso Cuarón, David Simon, Michael Schur, Tony Kushner, Damon Lindelof, WGA West President David A. Goodman, and WGA East President Bo Willman. The facility, which opened last year, employs some 6,000 workers who are voting on whether to join the Retail, Wholesale, and Department Store Union. The Guild's petition states, quote, "We are the writers of feature films and television series. All of our work is done under union contracts, whether it appears on Amazon Prime, a different streaming service, or a television network. Unions protect workers with essential rights and benefits. Most importantly, a union gives employees a seat at the table to negotiate fair pay, scheduling, and more workplace policies. Amazon accepts unions for entertainment workers, and we believe warehouse workers deserve the same respect in the workplace. We strongly urge all Amazon warehouse workers in Bessemer to vote yes, to vote union yes," unquote. The Twilight Zone reboot will not be getting a third season at Paramount+. Julie McNamara, the head of programming for the streamer, said, quote, "Jordan Peele, Simon Kinberg, and the entire production team truly reimagined the Twilight Zone for the modern age. They upheld the classic series' legacy of socially conscious storytelling and pushed today's viewers to explore all new dimensions of thought-provoking and topical themes that we hope will resonate with audiences for years to come," unquote. Back to the Future's Christopher Lloyd is going on a hunt for DeLoreans on a new series called Expedition Back to the Future. The series will see the former Doc Brown joined by Josh Gates as they track down existing versions of the DeLorean DMC-12. The 4-episode series will stream on Discovery's streaming service, Discovery Plus, starting on March 15th. Great Scott! Alamo Drafthouse has filed for Chapter 11. The bankruptcy filing comes as part of an asset purchase agreement with Ultimate Capital Partners, a previous investor in the company, as well as affiliates of Fortress Investment Group, a new backer. The company says that operations will continue as normal, and the Chapter 11 process and sale will give it the capital it needs to continue operating as it emerges from the public health crisis that left many of its locations closed for months. The agreement involves the sale of substantially all of its assets. Unquote. Fox has set the summer premiere dates for the animated shows Housebroken and the season premiere of Duncanville. The two shows will... Hold on here. Lionsgate, the makers of the movie based on the Borderlands video game series, has announced that Ariana Greenblatt has been cast in the role of Tiny Tina. Greenblatt will join Jamie Lee Curtis, Jack Black, Kevin Hart, and Kate Blanchett in the Eli Roth directed movie. The 13-year-old has had other roles in Love and Monsters, The One and Only Ivan, and portrayed young Gamora in Avengers Infinity War. No release date has been set. And that brings us to the end of the sci-fi news. Now, be sure to check us out on social media. We're at Twitter at Multiverse Tom. We're also on Facebook and Instagram as well. And if you'd like to contribute some money to the show, check out our show notes, visit our TeePublic store, and a whole lot more. Excuse me. Head on over to multiversetonight.com and click on the link at the top of the page. And if you're a subscriber, please be sure to share us with your friends. And if you're brand new to the show, please be sure to subscribe and leave some feedback. Let me know how we're doing. Now, special thanks to Shane Ivers for the intro music and Lobo Loco for the outro theme music. Thanks for watching the sci-fi edition of Multiverse Tonight. We'll be back in just 2 days with a new comic book edition and 2 weeks with a brand new sci-fi edition. Now, please exit the universe in an orderly fashion. Good night. Multiverse Tonight is a production of Half-Baked Genre Productions, copyright 2021, all rights reserved. Yeah, but what about the rights of that little girl? Alright, one down, one to go. I'm actually surprised at the length of that episode. Because, let me give you a little story. I normally do this over like a week and a half, putting together the shows. And usually I have a laptop that I take to work with me so I can work while I'm eating lunch. You know, at least get like a good 30 minutes of typing in. Well, the past few weeks I haven't had a laptop for me to work with, because my old laptop, the USB port went out. So Dell's solution was to send me a newer, reconditioned laptop. Well, they sent it, and then it got held up at the FedEx facility in Tennessee due to weather. It was supposed to have been overnighted to me. It took nearly a week. So during that week, I had no laptop, so I was barely getting anything done. So the fact that that episode, you know, came in at a good 26 minutes is you know, bravo. You know, I can't say it's my best work. I'm a bad judge of my own work, but hey, the job got done. You got informed. Good for you. Anyway, let's get this Mamma Jamma wrapped up. I doubt this one will be quite as long. Yeah, it's like 5 pages. So the comic book edition should go quick today. Okay, switch our mini deck. Alright. Get ready to hit record. A 1, a 2. This is how we do. Tonight, a new Superman movie in the works, Alien goes Marvel, and Netflix has an asterisk. All that and more on the comic book edition of Multiverse Tonight, comic books, sci-fi, fantasy, and more. If you're looking for a roundup of geeky news, you're in the right place. This is Multiverse Tonight. And here's your host, Thomas Townley. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 111 or 117 of Multiverse Tonight. It's 117, trust me. I'm, of course, your host, Thomas Townley. This is the comic book edition. And well, not a lot to talk about at the top of the show here. I've been playing some Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. I haven't actually played the Bowser's Fury part of it yet. I've just been playing 3D World. And yesterday, I just bought the Super Mario Brothers 3D All-Star Collection, which, I just, I kind of bought those because they're going to be taking those away at the end of this month. So it's like, I just better buy those too. And, it's I'm trying to get back into the control scheme and the groove for that. And of course, Galaxy and the Super Mario Sunshine were Wii games, so you had the Wii controls to do stuff, but now you don't. So I'm having to readjust to playing with just a straight controller. But other than that, things are going fine here. I'm doing fine. Wife is doing fine. My dog is kind of sick. Well, you can't have everything. Anyway, let's start with some DC Comics news. Now, we start DC Comics news with the new series Superman and Lois, which did so well in its series premiere that it's already earned its second season order. In a statement, Mark Pedowitz, chairman and CEO of the CW network, said, quote, "The phenomenal multi-platform debut of Superman and Lois, which delivered for us in a big way on both a linear and streaming basis, is a testament to the creativity, hard work, and dedication of the talented people who work tirelessly in front of and behind the camera, especially in this challenging environment. We're thrilled to now have two brand new bona fide hits in Superman and Walker, both which have been renewed for next season along with 11 other of our shows, further positioning us for our continued strength and stability for next season," unquote. Now, the series earned the CW its best night of primetime in over 2 years. The show makes the 13th renewed at the CW. Still pending are Kung Fu, The Republic of Sarah, and Stargirl. Those three have yet to have their next seasons. Congratulations are in order for Wonder Woman star Gal Gadot. The actress has announced that she is pregnant with her third child. Gals and Yaron Varsano have been married since 2008 and have 2 daughters. Congratulations to the family. The Green Lantern HBO Max series will start filming on April 12th. Date subject to change. The series will focus on Alan Scott, Guy Gardner, Jessica Cruz, Simon Baz, Kilowog, and the eventual villain Sinestro. Deadline has confirmed that author Tanahashi Coates has been tapped to write a new Superman reboot movie with J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot producing. No plot or anything concrete has been released, and it's unknown if Henry Cavill will be back in the Cape or if they'll go a different way. The game Fortnite and DC's Batman will cross over in a special miniseries this April. DC and Epic Games have announced Batman Fortnite 0 Point. The series will be written by Christos Gage, with concept and story consultation from Epic Chief Creative Officer Donald Mustard, and art by Riley Brown, Christian Deuce, Nielsen DeCastro, and John Cleese. Here's a synopsis. In 0 Point, a crack splits the sky above Gotham City, a tear in reality itself. This rift pulls the Dark Knight into a bizarre and unfamiliar world with no memory of who he is or where he came from. Batman has been drawn into Fortnite as he fights to recall his past and escape an endless loop of chaos and struggle. He'll come face to face with the likes of Renegade Raider, Fishstick, Bandolier, and more. While the world's greatest detective strives to make sense of this strange new world, he'll uncover the shocking truth about the island, which lies beyond the loop, and how everything he is connected to the mysterious Zero Point. Now, the print versions of the comics will have a redeemable code that will unlock various DC-themed items in Fortnite. Fans who redeem all 6 codes will unlock an armored Batman Zero skin. The series will not only be printed in the US, but Germany, Italy, Mexico, Brazil, Spain, and the Czech Republic, and will be published in their native lands and native languages. A Blue Beetle movie aims to start production this fall and now has a director. Charm City Kings director Angel Manuel Soto has been tapped. The movie will follow the Jamie Rees version of the character. Now, Soto told the Wrap, quote, "It is an honor to direct Blue Beetle, the first Latino superhero film for DC. I want to sincerely thank everyone at Warner Brothers and DC for trusting me to bring Jamie Rees to life. I can't wait to make history together." Unquote. They're looking to make the movie this fall. Supergirl will be getting a brand new miniseries. The series, titled Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, will be written by Tom King with art by Bilquis Ively and Matt Lopez. Here's the synopsis, quote, "Kara Zor-El has seen some epic adventures over the years, but has recently found her life without meaning or purpose. Here she is, a young woman who saw her planet destroyed and was sent to Earth to protect a baby cousin who ended up not needing her. What was it all for? Wherever she goes, people only see her through the lens of Superman's fame. Just when Supergirl thinks she's had enough, everything changes. An alien girl seeks her out for a vicious mission. Her world has been destroyed, and the bad guys responsible are still out there. She wants revenge, and if Supergirl doesn't help her, she'll do it herself, whatever the cost. Now, a Kryptonian, a dog, and an angry, heartbroken child head out into space on a journey that will shake them to their very core." Brought to you by Eisner Award-winning writer Tom King and Eisner nominee artist Bilquis Ively. This maxi-series promises to be a character-defining masterpiece, the likes of which has never been seen before, for DC's Maiden of Might, unquote. Now, the 8-issue series will launch on June 15th. Now, we just spoke about Superman and Lois a little bit at the top of this DC Comics report. Supergirl's 6th and final season will start on March 13th in Superman and Lois' regular time slot, as the series will have to go on a brief hiatus because of the COVID-related production interruption that they had a few months ago. Superman and Lois will return for the rest of their premiere season on May 18th. Now let's go on to the Marvel Comics news. And we start Marvel Comics news with the director of the upcoming Falcon and the Winter Soldier miniseries on Disney Plus, promising an emotionally charged adventure. Speaking with the direct, Carrie Skoglund described the blend of action and witty drama she got to play with. Quote, "I got to play in a muscular world, as well as in quite a dramatic world. I had to use every bit of muscle I had in terms of the experience I was bringing to the table, not only with action, but with the heartfelt drama." Now, the series premieres on Disney Plus on March 19th. Black Panther 2 will be different, according to Black Panther star Lupita Nyong'o. The actress, speaking with Good Morning America, told them, quote, "It's going to be different, of course, with our king to go back into that world. But I know that all of us are dedicated to carrying on his legacy in this new Black Panther. And director Ryan Coogler has some really, really exciting ideas that I look forward to bringing to life with the rest of the family," unquote. Now, Black Panther costume designer Ruth E. Carter has been honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, only the second costume designer to be given the honor. Ruth won an Oscar for her work on Black Panther. Sony's Silk series has a new showrunner. Sang Kwai Kim is set to run the show and executive produce, according to the Illuminati. The series, which follows the adventures of Spider-Man adjacent character Cindy Moon, will eventually air on Amazon Prime. Alien Number 1 arrives in comic book stores on March 24th. The series, from writer Philip Kennedy Johnson and artist Salvador Larroca, Johnson told Newsarama, quote, as a lifelong super fan of the franchise, getting to write the launch of Marvel's Alien was one of the biggest thrills of my writing career. Alien, coming to Marvel, feels like the beginning of a new era for the franchise, especially with the announcement of the upcoming TV series, and the gravity of being the first writer of that era is definitely not lost to me. After all the amazing work Marvel has done with the Star Wars franchise, I know the fans want to see greatness come from Alien as well, as they should. We're all giving everything we had to deliver on that. I'm confident fans will love what they see. Unquote. Now let's go on to the geek news. French comic character Asterix will be getting his own series on Netflix. Dominique Bazet, Netflix director of original animation, announced in a blog post, quote, I have been talking with Celeste Sergey at Albert Rene for years about how to bring Asterix to Netflix. We built a great relationship of trust and mutual respect around our love for these characters. I'm French Canadian, and like most francophones around the world, I grew up with Asterix, his sidekick Obelix, and loyal companion Dogmatix. I watched the animated specials and read the books religiously. If you'd told the 8-year-old me that one day I'd help bring these characters to life, I wouldn't have believed you. Since the first Asterix graphic novel was introduced in 1961, 38 volumes have been released in 111 languages and dialects, with the 39th due later this year. And there have been 15 feature films dating back to 1967. These stories tell the saga of the pugnacious warrior and his irreverent village companions who keep a tiny corner of ancient Gaul free from bumbling Roman invaders. Each new volume and movie is eagerly awaited by fans, especially in France, Italy, Germany, and Canada. I've always felt the unique tone of Gascony and Andruzzo's humor is timeless, and it's why Asterix is so special. It appeals to all ages and crosses all borders, unquote. Now, the series will utilize 3D animation and will be produced in France with a goal to stream it worldwide in 2023. SpongeBob SquarePants is spinning off Patrick Star into his own animated sitcom spin-off, The Patrick Star Show, which will air this summer on Nickelodeon. It joins Camp Corral SpongeBob's Under Years, which just debuted on Paramount Plus. Now here's the synopsis. The Patrick Star Show follows a younger Patrick Star living at home with his family, where he hosts his own show for the neighborhood from his television turned bedroom. His little sister, Squidina, works behind the scenes to make sure Patrick's show is always running smoothly, while his parents, Bunny and Cecil, and his grandpa, Grandpat, each support Patrick in their hilariously absurd ways. The Star family's unpredictable adventures often inform, integrate, and sometimes even interfere with Patrick's TV show, but one thing is for sure, his bizarre life always makes for great television, unquote. Warner Media CEO Jason Kilar is hinting at more Harry Potterverse projects for HBO Max and Warner Brothers. Kilar, speaking at the Morgan Stanley Technology Media and Telecommunications Conference, Investors Conference, said, quote, there's this little thing called Harry Potter, which is one of the most beloved franchises, and we're incredibly thankful to be able to partner with J.K. Rowling, and so I would argue that there's a lot of fun and potential there as well, unquote. Now, while he didn't elaborate on what that could be, there has been talk of a tentpole movie based on the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child stage play, and some other specially made projects. So, watch this space. The Minions sequel, Minions: The Rise of Gru, has again been pushed back, this time from July of 2021 to July 2022. The movie is a tentpole for Universal, and they really don't want to waste it on a digital-only release. However, if you want to be spoiled, just head to the toys section at any Walmart. The toys have been out for months. Netflix is doing a show based on Image Comics' upcoming title, Shadecraft. Shadecraft comes from Lucifer showrunner Joe Henderson and artist Lee Garbett, and centers on a 16-year-old named Zadie Lou, who, on top of dealing with regular high school problems, is worried that shadows are somehow coming to life around her. The comic is actually a follow-up to the Eisner Award-nominated Skyward, which is set to be made into a project at Sony Pictures. The Shadecraft comic comes out at the end of March. You know, you'll never stop The Simpsons. Fox has renewed the show for 2 more seasons, season 33 and 34. The Simpsons premiered in 1990. The March 21st episode will be the series' 700th episode. And finally, Fox has set the summer premiere dates for the brand new animated show Housebroken and the season premiere of Duncanville. The 2 shows will air on Monday, expanding Fox's animation domination to 2 nights. Now, Housebroken follows a group of neighborhood pets and stray animals as they work through their issues inside and outside their therapy group. Honey, voiced by Lisa Kudrow, is a standard poodle who opens her living room for the group to come and support each other through the misery, mayhem, and majesty that is being a pet. Honey also struggles with her own problems, such as her arranged by her human marriage with Chief, played by Nate Faxon, a sloppy Saint Bernard who enjoys eating socks and licking himself. Also in the voice cast are Will Forte, Tony Hale, Jason Mantzoukas, and Sam Richardson. Housebroken will debut on May 31st, followed by Duncanville, with a special season premiere of Duncanville that will air on May 23rd. And with that, we get to the end of the comic book news for today. Now, please be sure to check out our social media. We're at Twitter at Multiverse Tom. We're also on Facebook and Instagram as well. And if you'd like to contribute some money, check out the show notes, visit our TeePublic store, and much, much more. Just head over to the brand new multiversetonight.com and click on the links at the top of the page. If you're a subscriber, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And be sure to share us with a friend. And if you're brand new to the show, doubly thank you. Be sure to subscribe. Leave some feedback if you'd like. Let me know how we're doing. Special thanks to Shane Ivers for the intro music and Lobo Loco for the brand spanking outro theme music. Thanks for watching the comic book edition of Multiverse Tonight. We'll be back in 2 weeks with brand new comic book and sci-fi editions. Now please exit the universe in an orderly fashion. Good night. Multiverse Tonight is a production of Half-Baked Genre Productions. Copyright 2021. All rights reserved. Well, folks, I'm tired. I'll try not to pick my nose on camera. Well, folks, I have some editing to do, and a couple of errands in town. So I think I'm going to order a snack while I'm out. So I have something, so I don't have a rumbly in my tumbly. Thank you for watching the show today. Support me if you can. If you can't, again, just spread the word. I'm happy to just see those numbers grow. Let me check something real quick. Yes, I'm watching myself watching myself. Yeah, this is too meta. Anyway, I'm gonna get on with my day. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.